So today what we are seeing is the parallel practical resonance circuit. Now earlier the resonance circuit that we have seen, everybody just look at this. We were looking at a circuit like this. See, when we said parallel, don't take down this R, L and C. We were looking at a circuit like this. Fine. And we had a current source connected here. Fine. So this is what we can say theoretical. Practically, we don't use this. Why we use this theoretical circuit is to use to understand the concept of duality. Everybody get that point? But practically, this particular circuit is not used. Fine. So let's not forget that this is purely a theoretical circuit and help us understand the concept of duality. What is concept of duality telling us? It tells us that, what does it tell? It tells us that if you have L, L is replaced by C. If you have C, C is replaced by L in parallel resonance. Okay. And in series resonance, if you have R in some equation, that would be replaced by 1 by R. Okay, so we saw some equations also. We saw the equations for the impedance, we saw the equations for the quality factor, okay, and we saw the equation for the resonant frequency. We saw the equations for equations at half power frequencies, and every equation, if you know, in series resonance can easily be obtained. The same equations can easily be obtained in parallel resonance by just applying the duality principle of duality. Okay, but that's very much theoretical. Now, let's look at this circuit, okay, which has got this R and L in series, okay, and this C is in parallel with this particular branch. Understand that? So this is called as a practical parallel resonance circuit. Fine. So you should this name now becomes very important. So which parallel resonance circuit they are talking about? If they just say parallel resonance, you'll it's about the theoretical circuit that we just saw. Okay. Now if they say practical parallel resonance, understand that R and L would be in series, and in parallel with that we'll have your capacitor. So this is what is your practical parallel resonance circuit. And what we are doing today is we are obtaining the condition for resonance for this particular circuit. Okay, what does that mean? What is obtaining the condition for resonance? It's as good as obtaining the frequency at which this circuit resonates. Understand? So how to understand the condition where the circuit resonates is the question. Okay, how did we do it in series resonance? Anybody would like to answer that? How did we derive the equation for F naught? Anybody? You can unmute and you can give me the inputs. Yeah, anybody can go. Nobody wants to take that. No, this is what learning is all about. You have to initiate, you have to volunteer, develop those qualities. Yes, now anybody, how did we obtain the equation for resonance for series resonance circuit? Nobody's trying. Okay, just see this. We wrote the equation for Z, okay, which is R plus J, okay, omega L minus 1 by omega C, and we say at resonance this particular thing would become 0. Okay, and when this becomes 0, we can name this as omega naught. Okay, obtain the equation for omega naught. That is how we did. Okay, the same we'll try do for this. We will move with impedance only, though this is parallel resonance. So this is a practical parallel resonance. In theoretical parallel resonance, we thought of taking admittance because we wanted that duality principle to be tested, but there is no such conditions here. Okay, you are free to take the impedance or the admittance. Since we're all very comfortable with taking the impedance, let's move on with taking the impedance. Fine. So let's consider the impedance of this particular circuit. Now, if you have to consider the impedance, there are two branches in parallel. Okay, there is one branch which has got resistor and inductor. There is another branch which has got just the capacitor. Now, the total impedance of this particular circuit. Now, this branch is there. This is another branch. These two are in parallel. Okay, suppose there are two branches in parallel. What would happen? See here, if there are two branches in parallel like this, suppose say we have R1 and R2, and this is AB. Fine, this is AB. What is RAB? We write like this, right? RAB, 1 by RAB is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Yes or no? Fine. Now, so we can write a RAB is equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is parallelism. Understand that? Now let's see what happens to this total impedance or admittance. We all understand impedance, right? Just let's just inverse that. Okay, you'll get the same. Should not be a problem. Okay, so let's attend that now. Yeah, let's clean on this. Let's go on with the branches there. Fine. Condition for resonance is what we are obtaining. So let's consider. Okay, let's consider what is why the total admittance is given by what? Total admittance of the circuit. If it is impedance, see, I've told you, if it is impedance, total impedance, Z total. Let's write Z total is equal to ZL, impedance of the branch where L is there, plus Z. So this is series, right? So 1 by Z. So yeah, 1 by Z, 1 by ZL, then 1 by ZC. I'll write it again for you. Yeah. If it is impedance, okay, then Z total is equal to what? 1 by impedance of the branch where inductor is connected plus the impedance of the branch where capacitor is connected. Fine. So what would be the admittance, total admittance of the circuit? Total admittance would be Y total equal to YL plus YC. So this circuit, which is in terms of impedance, would come in terms of admittance like this. Get that point? Fine. So therefore we can write the total impedance of the circuit becomes total admittance rather. Okay. So what is total admittance of the circuit? Let's write that now. Everybody, I hope you are copying all this now. The total admittance, everybody copy down. The total admittance is given by what? This is total admittance. Let's call that as Y. Okay. You can call that as Y total or Y, the total admittance. Since we have told total admittance, this is our total admittance. Okay. And this admittance, the total admittance is given by the admittance of the branch where L is connected plus the admittance of the branch where C is connected. I hope it's clear to you now. You can write impedances, okay, and take the inverse of that, you will get the admittance. Now, let's see what is the impedance, what is the impedance of the circuit, what is the impedance of the circuit, impedance of the branch where this is connected. Anybody? What is ZL? Let me just write here for your. What is impedance of the branch where L is connected? Anybody? It is R plus J omega L. What is impedance of the branch where C is connected? It is minus J omega C. Understand that? So what would be YL, the admittance? The admittance YL would be the inverse of ZL. So how can I write that? I can write that as 1 by R plus J omega L plus there is admittance of the capacitor, admittance of the branch where capacitor is connected. What is that? It is 1 by minus J omega C. Now this J terms need to be eliminated from the denominator. Understand that? So it needs to be there. If it is there in the numerator, it's fine. But I don't want J terms to be in the denominator. So see, you remember all this, right? So this particular method of doing it, you have R plus J omega L. So if I multiply and divide this by R minus J omega L, there will not be any difference. Like omega L is there. Yeah. Is everybody okay with this? Now, similarly, plus you have 1 by minus J omega C, right? Okay, and if I multiply plus J omega C and plus J divide by plus J omega C, there will not be, again, it is maintained. Fine. So how would this look like now? And why I'm doing this process? I'm doing this process to just eliminate those J terms from the denominator. So what would happen here? A plus JB into A minus JB. What is that equal to? A plus JB into A minus JB. In the numerator anyways, you will be left with this R minus J omega L. In the denominator, what you will be left with? Yes. What is it? See here, if you have, I'll write here, if you have A plus JB into A minus JB, okay, then what is its result? Its result is A square plus B square. Understand? So that is what is the condition here. Okay, A plus JB, A minus JB. So what would be the denominator here? It's R square plus omega square L square. Now see here, in this particular term, the J term is in the numerator. In the denominator, we have eliminated the J term. Now what would happen here? What would happen here?
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, it is R square minus, no sir, A square minus B square.
It's A square minus B square. Sure.
Yes sir.
Okay. Okay. I'll just look at that. So A square. Then you have minus. Then no, it is A square plus right, because it is plus and plus. You have suppose if these two terms you are multiplying, okay, it is plus or plus into minus is minus, then you have J square, right? Yes or no? What is J square? J square is minus, isn't J square is minus.
Yes sir.
So it is plus, right, not minus. Just multiply that. J square is minus 1 and there is already a minus there. So it is A square plus B square, it seems. Look at that once.
Okay.
The others come out on that. A square plus B square or A square minus B square. Help us out. Hello. Nobody.
A square plus B square.
Yeah, good. That is what I understand from this particular equation. Okay, so if you multiply these two terms, you'll get to know that. Fine. You'll have a minus sign to deal with, and you have another minus sign to deal with from J square, because J square becomes minus 1. Okay, in that sense, it would become plus. Okay, no problem with it. That's good. You got it clarified. Fine. So what would this be? And what is that method called as? Anybody? This method is called by some name, right? What is that method? Don't remember the method? Which method?
Rationalizing the denominator.
What? Once again, please. Yeah, go on, no problem.
Sir, rationalization.
No, not clear, man. Sorry. Not
Ra-
odd.
Rationalization.
Rationalization.
Rationalization, sir.
Okay, good. It is called as rationalizing. Okay. Suppose if you have to tell it to a person who does not understand the term rationalizing. So how would you explain it? It's as good as eliminating the j term from the denominator and having the j term in having j term in the numerator is fine, but I don't want the j term in denominator. So how can I do that? By rationalizing, I can do that. Is what you can say. Yes. Good. Now, what would be the second term? What would be the second term? Anybody, if you have done it? Yes. So you have to, you what would this be? You have j omega c in the numerator. Fine. This plus j and minus j would be what? So this is minus and you have j square, right? So this minus into j square would give you plus. So you have omega c into omega c. Is it correct? So this and this goes off. So you're left with j omega c. That omega c, oh, it's 1 by omega c. Very sorry, huh? So what is the problem there? See, I've done a mistake with this. Everybody, nobody told me that. Very sorry, very bad. See, I've written the impedance of the branch where the capacitance is there. I've written it's minus j by omega c. See, very bad that you didn't tell me that. I have to come again. See, yeah? Let me do that. See, I made a mistake. You didn't tell me. Okay, what is this? Let me take this off. What is ZC? ZC is 1 by j omega c. So what would this be in that sense? It would be here, it would be 1 by j omega c, right? So what would be the change here? No, you at least one should have got that mistake of mine, right? No problem if I do the mistake, that's all fine. But you should be telling me that I've done a mistake. Otherwise, it's time waste. Yeah, it's j omega c in the numerator. Anyways, let's not go for rationalizing because the j term is anyways in numerator only. Everybody's okay with this? Yeah. Now, next what I want you to do is you have to separate the j terms and the real terms here. How to separate the j terms and the real terms? Go on now. You have to separate the j terms. That means imaginary terms and real terms you need to separate. So how to do that? So it would be y equal to, so the real part here is r divided by r square plus omega square L square. Okay. Then you have a minus here. So shall we take minus j or plus j is the question. Okay. So let's go with plus j. If I take plus j, okay, so this term would come first. It's omega c minus omega L divided by r square plus omega square L square. I hope everybody understands this. Simple stuff. This is one term. R by r square plus omega square is one term where there is no j term. So separate it and combine the terms where there is presence of j. Okay. So this is what we have done. Okay. Now, what is this part of the admittance? Anybody? What is this part of the admittance called? Go on. Anybody? What is this part of the admittance? This is called as admittance. I'm just revisiting the terms. Fine, Unina, yeah. What is this term of the admittance? It's conductance And what is this term? This J term of the admittance is. Okay. This is
Susceptance.
Exactly. It is susceptance. Now, what statement we can make? As we used to say in series resonance, the same thing can be said about the parallel resonance circuit also, whether it is theoretical parallel resonance or practical parallel resonance circuit that we're seeing now. What is that? Okay, at resonance, everybody take down this. At resonance, that is at omega equal to omega naught, the susceptance is 0. The susceptance is 0. So what does that mean? That means this part, when omega is omega naught, this part is becoming 0. Okay. So what I can write here is this. Therefore, I can write omega naught C minus omega naught L divided by R square plus omega naught square L square is equal to 0. Is everybody okay with this? Now, from here on, you need to obtain the equation for omega naught and eventually F naught. Fine. So, can you do that now? Everybody work out and get me the equation for omega naught. Go on, everybody. I'll be doing it, but keep doing it yourselves. So what we can do is omega naught equal to omega naught L divided by R square plus omega naught square L square. Fine. So what we can do here, omega naught goes off. Anyways, there is omega naught square in the denominator, so this goes off and this goes off. So you're left with what? You're left with R square plus omega naught square L square. Okay, into C, this into C equal to L. Understand that? Or in the next step we can do this. What does that mean? Or we can say R square plus omega naught square L square is equal to L by C. Okay, omega naught square L square would give you L by C minus R squared. Okay, then this implies that our omega naught square would be what? Yeah, quite a simple stuff. Okay, so what we would have here, L square, if it comes on the denominator of the right hand side, you will have 1 by LC, okay, minus R square divided by L square. Fine. So this further implies what? This implies that our omega naught is square root of 1 by LC minus R square L square. So this is what is omega naught in terms of radians per second. This is radians per second. Okay. So this further implies that therefore F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi times square root of 1 by LC minus R square L square. Okay, just copy this much. So this is one equation. Okay, so which would be the equation for the resonance for practical parallel resonance circuit, or this is called as condition for resonance. So obtain the condition for resonance means F naught is what you are obtaining. Everybody is okay with this? Fine. Now the question is, is it possible? Is it possible to express F naught, okay, in terms of Q naught? Let's further go on with this. Here, the same F naught further, our F naught can also be written as, here I have 1 by 2 pi, right? I would like to take this root LC out. Okay, if I take root LC out, there is root LC in the denominator, so that's taken out. So from this particular term, you have 1. Fine. And from the second term, you have CR square divided by L. Now earlier what used to be our F naught? Our F naught used to be this here. F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. F naught equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. This is what it used to be. Now here it is, now for practical parallelism, it is not only this. It is along with this, there is this term also. Okay, earlier for series resonance or for theoretical parallel resonance, F naught is only this. But for practical parallel resonance, this extra term is coming. Understand? So I don't want to call this as F naught now, because you should understand the circuit that we are going with. Now this circuit is entirely different. It's a practical parallel resonance circuit. For practical parallel resonance circuit, F naught is not just this, but this term would also come along with this, is what one needs to understand. Now, can you express this equation in terms of quality factor? Okay, now everybody just should listen to me very carefully. Everybody, what is the quality factor of this particular circuit? What is the quality factor of this circuit? Okay, can anybody tell me that? There is some series combination also, there is a parallel combination also, but in series combination R and L are in series. Everybody should observe that. See here, this resistor and this inductor are in series. This C is in parallel, fine, we understand that. But since these two are in series, the quality factor of this particular circuit is D is equal to the quality factor of series RL circuit. Mind, what is quality factor of series RL circuit?
Omega L by R.
Omega L by R. So omega L by R is what is going to be the quality factor for this practical parallel resonance circuit also. The reason is, since R and L are in series, okay, we say the quality factor of practical parallel resonance circuit is equal to that of the series RLC circuit. Understand that? Let's make that statement now. Fine. Now you can take that as quality factor. You can take a heading of quality factor. Okay. What statement we need to make? So those who have not given the attendance, please give it now. Okay, only 8 minutes left. Make a statement. Since R and L are in series, the quality factor of the Q factor is right. The Q factor of practical parallel resonance circuit. Practical parallel resonance circuit is equal to that of series RLC circuit. Okay, so therefore what we can write, therefore quality factor is omega L by R. Okay, this is the reason we give straight away. Now, is it possible to express this equation in terms of quality factor is the question. Everybody look at this. This is series RLC circuit quality factor. Now at resonance, we know that at resonance, suppose we operate at resonance, this Q naught would be what? Omega naught L by R. And since we are talking about at resonance, this would also be equal to omega naught RC. You should understand this. Is everybody okay with this? Yes? Now, why did we write this in the first place? Why did we write this? We wrote this because the R and L are in series. That's why omega L by R is the quality factor. But at resonance, this quality factor is omega naught L by R, and we know that at resonance, the quality factor of series RL circuit is equal to the quality factor of series RC circuit. So in that sense, these two terms would also be equal. I hope you agree with me. Okay. So further what we can do is, suppose I have a factor like this. Suppose we are dealing with something like Q naught square. What is Q naught squared? Q naught squared is Q naught into Q naught. Okay. So it is omega L by R. I'll write here. Once I'll substitute this. Once I'll substitute this because both are same. Okay. So this implies what is Q naught square? Q naught square is this omega naught goes off. Okay. So you're left with L by R squared C. Is there this term here in this particular equation? See here? Okay. Call this as equation number 1. Call this as equation number 1. Therefore, equation number 1 can be written as what? It is CR squared L is there divided by L. So this is L. So it is inverse of that. So therefore, how can I write my equation number 1? Therefore, equation number 1 implies, therefore equation 1 implies that our F naught can also be written in terms of quality factor as 1 by 2 pi root LC, okay, square root of 1 minus 1 by Q naught square. Okay, so this is another form of obtaining the equation in terms of quality factor, just that. Okay, how can we do it? If somebody wants you to express your F naught in terms of quality factor, you need to do this. Otherwise, you can very much you can stop here. Okay, so this is very much sufficient if the condition for resonance is asked, or if the condition for resonance is asked in terms of the quality factor, then yes, you need to come till this point. I hope you all followed. We have another type of parallel resonance circuit. Fine, that's called as 2-branch RL RC circuit. Okay, so that we shall see in the next class.